Hi everyone, welcome to another practical chess position. This is one of Dvoretsky's problems, and in the case, as is the case in his puzzles, usually it's just your move and you don't quite know what you're looking for, whether it's a tactic, positional, or whatever. So it's white to move here, and as always, pause your video and try to figure out what you would do here, and then when you're done, you can unpause it and we'll work it out together. Alright, so what the heck's going on? White to move. First instinct in a position like this is always something like h4 to kind of like push the knight away. That's just like my instinct. I mean, I also looked at like this d6 square and rerouting the knight to c4, but it's kind of like, sorry, to c4. But that's a little artificial, it looks like. Um, so I mean, definitely, how do I clear the stupid things off the board? I don't know how to get rid of the circles. So I'm gonna make a random move and go back. So I mean, h4. Like, I don't want to take this because he takes with a pawn, and maybe, like, his pawn structure gets better. Like, when I make a move like this, let's say he goes pawn takes now. Like, gut tells me, like, this should be good somehow. I mean, you can win a pawn. So, I don't know, maybe this is not so good. See, I was a little worried about knight f4, although, and maybe I don't have to be after this move. Tough to say. Well, let's think a little more here. What does black want to do? I mean, black doesn't have any great moves right now. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. H4 feels good to me. Another idea. No. H4 pawn takes pawn looks normal. And then that position I showed you is like a little irritating. Pawn takes pawn's interesting. If he takes with the pawn, just trying to figure out what's up with this pawn structure here. And then we can go h4 maybe. Doesn't look so bad. I just worry that he can play e5 and then his bishop on d7 gets a lot better. If we play knight to e4 ourselves, then he can go knight takes e5. That looks a little bit annoying to me. I'm sleepy. I don't know. Let's say I was playing a game. What move would I play? h4 just doesn't quite work. I would want to do it. But like I said, h4, pawn takes pawn. Actually, what am I worried about here? Somehow this looks better the more I look at it. It's knight h4, knight e5. If knight here, I can maybe just take it. If rook takes knight e5, if pawn takes... I mean, this looks kind of good. I can't figure it out. I don't know. I honestly, it's a little too hard to figure out, to evaluate this position. I mean, like, just to demonstrate, like knight takes, queen takes. Let's say I start taking things. I don't know that this is so great for me. I mean, material's even, his bishop's okay, my h-pawn's a bit weak. So, in a game, after some thought, I'd probably just suck it up and go pawn takes f6. Just because I don't quite know what else to do, but it doesn't feel right, because it does freeze all of his pieces up. Just trying to find some better way to deal with that. I'm having difficulties. I don't know. Knight e4, knight takes e5. It somehow feels okay to me, but it feels okay. Oh, rook a4. What's that? I didn't even look at that move. But somehow looks interesting. Somehow rook a4 looks like an interesting move. Give me a second to examine that further. It just feels like I could swing the rook over at the right time. Controls f4 square. I kind of just like it. I think I'm going to go with rook a4. I don't know, I didn't even consider it before, but I like the way it develops our rook in a position where all of our other pieces are okay, and we put that rook on a4. I don't know, it just feels useful to me. I'm going to go for it. Correct solution! White must, and it says rook a4 exclamation point, white must bring his queen's rook into play. So what happened here is very interesting, the thought process that happened here. Because what you noticed was, for 5 minutes, I didn't even consider the move. Because this is little, like, stuff is happening in the center right now. And whenever you see some kind of tension like this, you just kind of like, sometimes your mind just bullseyes into what's happening right there. But I noticed black didn't have like any great active plan. So I was always looking at pawn takes pawn, h4, active stuff. And I didn't even consider the candidate move, rook to a4, until like 5 minutes in. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I like that move. It just looks good. You know, the rook can be very useful on that square. And just notice it took me a while to even come up with it. And so the key is to just see these moves quicker. These types of maneuvers. And the game supposedly went rook f8, takes, knight h4. And this was not possible in the other line. Knight takes, pawn takes, f4. And I guess, yeah, now also the rook is helping here too. Notice how useful this rook on a4 is. So it's funny. It's a move that as soon as I looked at it, I was almost sure it was, I felt really confident about it. But it took me 5 minutes to even consider it. So that just shows how important candidate moves are and the consideration of all of your possibilities. Thanks, guys, for watching. I will see you next time with another position from Dvoretsky. Probably for the next 10 days, we're going to do his position. So fun stuff. Bye-bye.